Okay, folks, so we're going to start drawing these puzzle pieces, and I want to show you how to do that in Onshape or pretty much any software that you can do CAD. So let's do this. So I'm going to go to click Create. We're going to do a whole new document. Don't forget to name it Puzzle Cube or whatever the project you want to name it is, something that you would recognize it when you see it right away. And to make sure that we're doing this consistently, I'm going to start right here with this piece, but it doesn't matter which one you start with. So I'm going to start with this piece here, and I'm going to go down this way. So I'm going to create this little tower right here. That's the first thing I'm going to do. We can only do little pieces at a time. We can't do everything. So sketch, and I'm going to do this top part right here. And let's rotate it towards us. Just right click on this area and say view normal to, or view normal to sketch plane. There we go, rotates towards me. And I'm going to go ahead and draw a square. And remember, these wooden cubes, they're all 0.75 inches by 0.75 inches. Looks like that one already was. Okay. So, and by the way, if you're wondering why it's not black, which means it's fully constrained, it's because it still can move. The size can't move. I can't change that. But it doesn't know where it is in free space. So if you want to, it's probably good practice to kind of say where things are in space. So you can say that should be 2 inches away. This doesn't really matter. This is sort of just making it up. So I know how far away this weight is, but I don't know how far it is from here. So I'll just put, I don't know, what's the closest number? 0.5. Doesn't really matter. So now it's done. And let me rotate it. You can see it there, that little cube. And we're going to extrude it up. How far? Well, let's look at those pictures again. This is one, two. This is going to be 3 pieces, I think. Let's see. This is going to fit underneath here. I do believe that's 3 pieces. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 1 right here, 2 here, and 3 here. So it's all 3 pieces there. So that's 3 cubes. So 3 cubes would be 2.25 inches. Okay. So pretty much 0.75 plus 0.75 plus 0.75, which is 2.25. By the way, you can actually do that if you want. You can actually put the equation in there. And there you go. Don't believe me? I'm going to take this extrude and double click it. Look at that. See, it knows. Look at that. It says 2.25, but when I click on it, it still has my equation in there. It's just 3.75s going up. Now let's look at the picture again real quick. Oh, there's one going this way. All right, so we could try to draw that in one drawing, and it can be done. Let me show you how to do it. So let's see if I can do it in one drawing. Sketch this side right here. I'm going to sketch that side. Now just right click and say view normal to sketch plane. It's going to rotate it towards us. And I'm just going to see if I can draw the whole thing in one shot. I think it's 2 squares over. So let's just click a random square and let's size it all up. It should be 0.75. And this length over here should be 2 squares, 1.5. Like that. Let me just double check the picture and let's see if we can agree to that. Yeah, it looks like 1 square here and 1 square here. So that's it. And push green check mark and then just click extrude and click here, but also click here. We want both of those, right? There we go, and that seemed to work, but we're not going to go out 1 inch. These are cubes that are all 0.75 in every direction. So it should be 0.75. Pretty much every number here should be 0.75, 1.5, or 2.25. So there we go, we're done there. I could have drawn the square out this way, then drawn another square this way, so it would have taken 2 moves, but I did that in 1. Next, you see this is part 1? That's this one right here. We can right click and make it yellow. You know, it is yellow on the paper, right? So let's make it yellow. I think this is yellow. Yeah, that's yellow enough. Green check mark. We can hide it too. So I can push the I and hide it. Okay. There we go. It's still here. I can unhide it. I'm just hiding it so I can work on my other puzzle pieces, but you can also leave it open. It doesn't really matter. All right, let's do the next piece. This one. let's so how am I going to draw this one? There's a bunch of ways to do it. I can draw this whole side and extrude outward, and then I have to draw this one cube hanging out. I can also draw this cube, then this one, and then this one. I think I'll try to draw this big side. That's the hardest way to do it, to draw this whole side. One, two cubes this way, two cubes this way, and two cubes this way. So 1.5 inches, and 1.5 inches. Let's try that. So let's start. I'll draw on this face right here. So sketch, let's click here. Let's rotate this way. And let's do it. I'm going to start from the origin this time so I don't have to say where it is. And I think it's this way, right? I already forgot. It's been 2 seconds. Oh, it was up. All right. So let me push this. So it's something like this. So this is 1.5. And of course it's 7.5, 0.75. Then there's another square that goes like this way. And this one is also 1.5. And it is 0.75. And I think there's one going down. Let's just double check. Yeah, it's this one going down. And so let's get the square. And we'll click this little corner there so we can make it solid there. And then let's get the dimension tool and say 1.5. And of course this should be 0.75 thick. And we're kind of done. And we can actually just be done with it and extrude it. If you want to clean it up, you can also clean it up with scissors right here. This trim tool. You can click the trim tool and just delete these little extra pieces out. Oh, it's not liking that. There we go. I had to delete that one first for whatever reason. I'm not sure, but you could have done this without doing this anyway. So green check mark done. And we're going to go ahead and extrude. And I'm pretty sure it's just 0.75, 1 square thick. Okay, like that. So I did this whole piece and extruded this piece out, even this piece here. But I need to add one more. I need to go a little further on this top piece. So we'll just rotate around over here and we'll draw it right there. So let's say, no, not extrude, I'm not ready for that. Sketch, this face, right click, view normal to sketch plane. There we go, we're drawing it right here. You may not like this direction, you can always rotate that. I think we go this way. Nope, that's not how. There's a way to rotate this and I just forgot right now. But anyway, it's all right. So let's just go and draw the square here. Boom. That's all black right here. It's fully extruded because I clicked right on the corners of the old square. So done. And let's just go ahead and extrude this. 0.75. Done. Okay, so there we go. It looks like it's different colors here. That's only because this plane right here. If you want to hide those, you can. So I'm hiding those planes, and you can see it's one shape. What color is it? Purple. Let's make it purple. So part 2, right-click, edit appearance, and let's make it purple. Done. All right, and we could hide those parts if they're in the way or whatever. It doesn't really matter. Let's put these planes back. They are useful. And let's draw our next piece. This green piece right here. This one is literally a big L. So we can draw a big L. It's three tall and then 2 this way right here. So let's start with that drawing. So let's go here. I can draw it wherever I want. I'll draw it maybe over here somewhere. Sketch, click that side, rotate it, and I'll draw it off to the side over here. And let's draw that L shape. So first I'm going to click here, and then I'm going to click here. I'm just going to do both. And let's dimension tool, 0.75. Oops, that kind of grew a lot. 0.75. And this side is 3 squares, so 2.25. And this side is 1.5 because it's only 2 squares. Oops, it did not like that. Control Z. It's giving me an error, and I think let's delete this. I've obviously clicked right here, and you see these little constraints. I must have added something, so let's delete this one and see what's going on here. not sure. This one, this one, this one. Let's do maybe this line. Let's see. That's okay. 1.5 done. I think it doesn't know where it is, and they're not all black, so that tells me it's probably just. If you're not sure what it is, go ahead and start grabbing stuff and try to move it. I can't move it up or down. It moves left and right, so that means it doesn't know where it is to this little origin dot. So we'll just go ahead and click, click, and say, oh, it's 1.9. Let's just make a nice even 2 inches. There we go. And now it's fully constrained, and everything is 2, 1, 1, 3 squares. Good. And we can trim those if we want. Should work. Hopefully it doesn't give me any errors. There we go. And green check mark. Oops, not a sketch. I want to extrude this by 1 cube. So 1 cube would be 0.75. Done. And there we go. But we're missing one more. So I drew this big L right here like that. But I'm missing this little cube coming off to the side. So let's go ahead and add that right there. So sketch this side. And let's take a square. Click that corner and click this corner, and that should be locked up because I hit this 2 corners and it has nowhere else to go. That's why it's all black already. Click green check mark, extrude, and we'll just go out. I'm putting an angle so you can tell it's coming out. It looks kind of weird like that. And then 0.75 and done. Look at that. So we got that little cool shape, and that's done. What color is it supposed to be? It's supposed to be green, so let's make it green. So part 3, right click, edit appearance, and green, done. All right, so we only got 2 more pieces to do. We'll do these ones really fast. Here's a funky piece. I'm gonna go ahead and draw, this one's hard to draw, so let's go 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna draw these 3 cubes right here. 1, 2, 3, so it's gonna be a little tiny L. Let's do that. I'm gonna hide these, it's getting a little messy here. Let's see. Well, sometimes I don't want to draw over them, so maybe I will just draw it. I'll draw it over here somewhere then. Sketch on this plane, and we'll draw it over here. So let's go ahead and start here. And I think we just have a simple L. Oops, messed that up. Okay, let's just Control Z. It assumes I wanted it like that. Okay, so I think it's a simple L. And let me just double check that. Yeah, it's 2 and the 2. So it's 3 cubes altogether. 2 this way, 2 this way. So 1, 2, 3 really. So dimension tool. 1.5, that's 2 squares. Whoa, that moved over there. And then 1.5 this way. And this right here is 0.75. And this should be 0.75. And that should be it. I don't think there's anything else. So if you want to double check, I'm going to try to move stuff. It seems to just want to move left and right. So I'll just, like I said, I always like to fully constrain everything. So I'm going to click the origin, click here and say, hey, you should be 3 inches away. Doesn't really matter what number I put here. This means nothing if you want to put 2.5. I'm just trying to make sure it's away from the rest of my stuff. And here I'm not going to delete these just to prove to you I think it doesn't really matter. So I left them there. The only difference is when I extrude, I now have to click every single one of them. That's the only difference, okay? 0.75, oops, 0.75. There we go. Now, I got these. Now I need to draw one little cube coming that way. So if you look, I did these 3. I just need this one going over here. So, oops, I already forgot where I was. So yeah, I need to draw one coming out over here on this side. So let me see, sketch, click that, right click and say view normal to, there we go. And there's a cube coming out right there. There we go, fully constrained already. Green check mark, extrude. 0.75, done. So I did that. So I just made that one come out. I added that one little cube right there. Now I need to add one going this way. Or you can try to draw this whole thing right here, this whole face, and extrude outward, and just drew 2. You can do that if you want. So I could draw one cube coming out, then another one going down, or try to draw all of them right there. Yeah, I could draw all of them right here. Let's try that. That's going to be easier and faster. Click this face, right click and say view normal to sketch plane. Let me just double check I am looking in the right place. That snapped a little too quick. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, so it's right here I'm doing it. Sometimes I have to just double check. So it goes here, and it should be 2 squares, so 1.5. And don't forget to double, oh, it's fully constrained. And so I don't need to say 0.75. You can go ahead and click it, but you can see it's already 0.75. So you can't change that, or else it'll give you an error if you try to change that. It's not letting me right now. Let's see. Well, if you try to change it and you try to say, oh, make that 1 inch, you're going to see it just gives you all kinds of errors because it's saying, hey, that's why it's light colored, because it's trying to tell you that you can't change it, because I click directly on that dot and it knows that where that is already. So I've added, you can see that these are supposed to be parallel. I've added all these little constraints everywhere by clicking on dots and stuff. Okay, so green. There's this one. Let's do that. Once again, because I did it all at once, I have to pop out both. There we go. And this is only, oops, clicked the wrong thing. 0.75. Done. Complex piece, but that piece is the same as that piece. And we'll do orange. So right click and edit appearance. I guess this is orange. I don't know. That looks like orange. Let's do that one. And we got one piece to go. So let's do that. Let's try not to make this video too long. We're going to do this blue one. I'm going to draw this whole T and just add that piece later. This is like one piece, I think, that just comes off to the top. Right here. Let's see. Lays on, yeah. So I think it's just one piece right there. It's hard to see. I can't see the other side of it. But I'm going to draw this T. It's going to be 3 this way with 2 more coming down. So let's do that. Where can I draw this thing? I'm running out of room. I'll draw it down here. Sketch, click, right click, view normal to plane, and let's draw there. Dimension 0.75. And remember, this is 3 cubes wide, this T, so 2.25, that's 3 cubes. And then there's one, oops, I'm doing one. It goes 2 down here, but there's one up here too, technically, I guess. So that's the way I drew it. So, because I want them to cross over each other. So that would be 2.25 technically. But there's only 2 cubes down here. And then this is 0.75. But I want to make sure this is in the middle. That's important to me. So let's click here to here and make sure that that's 0.75. And I think that should put it right in the middle. Let's make sure that this to here is this. Remember, this number doesn't matter. This is just where it is in space. So I'm just going to put 1 inch. I see everything is black. That's good news. We can just extrude now. If you want to trim, you can click the scissors and trim this up if you wanted to, though. Click green check mark, extrude, and it's just 1 cube thick. And green check mark. And there's one other piece I remember, this piece that comes out over there. So let's do that. It was on this side over here, or this side over here. I guess it doesn't really matter. So I'll do this side since that's what I already decided. Click here and click here. Click that dot and it's all fully construded. Fully constrained, I should say, not construded. That's not even a word. All right, 0.75. There we go. Done. And then let's make it the same color. Blue. It is already blue. So good enough. All right, so that's it, guys. That's how I draw my puzzle pieces. My next video is how to do the assembly, which is going to be right here. All right, thanks.